We're ready to go. Match number 2. Liz Johnson, the defending champion, and from Singapore, 24-year-old Nu Wei Fen. Qualifying average just over 209. Her match play record was 11-13, and a match play average just a shade under 200. Her overall average at 204. One of 5 Singapore players this week, and a pin. We're missing a pin here. That's what she's waiting on. The 10 pin is not there on lane number 8, the right-hand lane. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. You know, I thought that Kim's question to Kelly was very relevant about this end of the house that we're at today. Saw no one except our crew. So how does that affect you as a bowler?
I think Kelly, of course, came in thinking exactly what you needed to think. This is a new bowling center. We didn't use these pairs. It's the low end. The temperature is different. The lights make it different. Each end of a house, as we always know, plays differently. Even the pairs that we did use, 17 to the end, when you made the turn, 17 through 24 didn't play anything like 51 through, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's different, and you had to come in and just say, you know what? This is a new day, new bowling center. I got to watch my reaction.
Take a look at a solid start for Nu Wei Fen. We mentioned 5 Singapore players, and we're going to see another one in the next match. Shayna Ong, who was the number 2 qualifier, but Jazz Tan was 10, Sherry Tan, and Kristen Kwa, who was 77th. And Singapore is starting to make a dent in the world of bowling.
Oh, they've been around quite some time. Their youth program is phenomenal. They train as athletes from a very young age, and they just have so much experience and really have bowled more in the last few years over here on the PWBA tour, and their experience is coming through. It really is.
It wasn't Liz's best shot. She survives with a 3-pin. Liz, 18 championships overall in her career. And we take a look at the classic form of Liz Johnson.
Liz, very traditional style. 4 steps, gets the ball in motion right over that right knee. Looking down, does not look at the foul line. Everybody thinks she looks at the foul line, and she says, no, I do not. But look at this. I mean, she just drives with her legs into the line. And once again, everyone watch that. The free swing from the top to the bottom, it just drops. There's no helping that.
It did. Bowling balls tend to listen when Liz Johnson commands them to do things, and she gets a solid strike.
And it's amazing with Liz, because I'm going to tell you, she really creates her ball speed by her feet, moving her feet a little quicker, and not by throwing it with her upper body, using her legs to create that ball speed naturally.
And a little wide, so a couple left behind for Nu Wei Fen. So now we have a little bit of a different look here with Nu Wei Fen.
More of the modern game, 5 steps, but look at on that second step, gets that ball into the swing. Look at this power position right here with that right, drives with that right foot, and the leverage. What axis rotation off her hand, but if you watch the Singapore, well, Kelly's the same way, but the Singapore girls do have a little more axis rotation. They're so soft with it at the bottom, and that is so key to the modern game. Ball speed, not pulling down on it, and being soft with your hand, but creating the rotation necessary.
We mentioned her experience that Carolyn talked about. She has been on the Singapore national team, has won bronze and silver. She won Masters and Trio Gold in the Asian Championships last year. She has been in World Games as a youth bowler. Crosses over and leaves the 310. That's what Liz broke up in her opening game. This time she's got that extra 10 pin. She's had incredible success, particularly as a youth bowler, and certainly running into that same success now.
Got this way left of target, and you could see that rangefinder that's down lane, that dark rangefinder down lane. Kelly was getting it out to about 9, 10, 11 was the most she got it in. Wei Fen was way left of that, which is why I created that through the nose shot, but she spares the 310.
And made it look easy, which we all know it isn't. Nu Wei Fen was the leader at the end of round 4. Liz really fought her way through. I mean, it was like going, we talk about this being a step ladder. She really took step by step, a lot of baby steps for Liz to get to that final 5. Oh, wait
my
a
God.
minute. What happened there? That's a ripoff.
Traditional Liz style, she just kind of stays in the hunt, stays in the hunt, stays in the hunt, and then blasts them right at the end to make the show. Great shot by Liz, and she liked it too. She leaned right into that. Stone 7.
The head pin that failed to do its
Yeah,
duty there,
wow.
it looks like. Yep.
Great shot.
The other thing about Liz is I don't think it makes a lick of difference to her what position she is in the step ladder. She's been in all of them. She doesn't care.
No.
Take a look at the U.S. Women's Open tournament format. We kind of hinted at that. We started with 142 entries, 32 games of qualifying. Then we cut it to the top 24, including my partner here, Carolyn. And then 24 games of demanding round-robin match play, and the top 5 make it to the step ladder finals. And we're looking at match number 2. Liz Johnson has already defeated Kelly Kulick, and is now a very close match early on here with Nu Wei Fen. Well, just throw another perfect shot, and the pins will take care of themselves.
As long as she keeps that ball a little more going up the lane and keeps her ball speed up, she could be a tough one to beat.
I love what you said about her. We'll take to Liz here in just a second, but you made a great point about Liz. Let's take a look at the Nu Wei Fen shot. It's perfect.
If you watch Nu Wei Fen, hand is way behind the ball, right there. Do you see how behind the ball her hand is? And then she rolls through it. It's really, I hate to say this. I mean, I know I'm a competitor, but it's so beautiful to watch.
Oh, sure, you can
because
say
it's
that.
just amazing how much they get on it by being so behind and so soft.
That's got a push, and it does not. And completely different shot on the left-hand lane than she had on the right-hand lane. But another point you made, and I want to get back to the Liz point, but you said it already. It's not like these ladies have not seen these shots already coming into the show.
No, and she's probably saying to herself, oh, okay, I just got that one a little far right, just make the spare. I mean, that's really what everybody said. And you're going to see this in the next few matches. It's not always about just throwing the worst shot. It's just that this is the way the pattern plays, and this is what they did all week.
Now, you said something in the first match about Liz. She almost paraphrasing, but you made it sound like she makes the conditions come to her rather than, and I thought that was really interesting because as the day goes on, and if she continues to win, things are changing, but it doesn't seem to affect her too much.
No, and I think that's what makes her a phenom. I really do. She can play the condition the way she wants to because of her natural talent, and that only happens to a select few, and that's what just makes her so great. And then when she sees a condition that isn't conducive to her game, she does whatever she has to do to grind out until she feels comfortable and can do what she needs to do.
And you mentioned her classic form. If you can find some video of Liz Johnson from, say, 10, 15 years ago, it's pretty much what you're going to see right here.
Yep, she does not look much different. She still works hard at her game, has kept herself in good shape.
Yes, sir. Liz Johnson, as we get ready to step aside, is making a statement in the middle of this match with a triple, 4, 5, and 6. Liz Johnson with strikes, putting it on the shoulders of young Nu Wei Fen. We'll see how she responds when we return. With Kim Adler and Karen Dorland-Ballard, I'm Dave Lamont. And Carolyn, we want to highlight the difference in the left and the right lanes and how it's affecting Nu Wei Fen.
She's playing a little bit for, she just moved, I hate to say that, we were looking at the replay, but that's okay. She moved right on lane 8.
This is earlier in the match. We're going to show that
Correct.
first.
Playing the lanes close to the way Kelly was trying to play them from in, maybe a little bit further right of where Kelly was. Starting the ball in about 23, getting it out. This one, left lane, much deeper, about 25. 24, 25, getting it right. She moved right, missed the head pin.
There's flawless. That was close, but she nailed it. That's all that matters.
So that's telling you right there she does not like her look in. So she is going to try to emulate what Liz Johnson's doing, which is very hard to do. But when you feel like you don't have any reaction, and this is the U.S. Open, you only get 10 frames. You only got, what, she have four frames left? You have to do something, and she's moving right.
I asked her what would be significant about this win. She says, you know, I would love a banner. I'll explain that in just a second. Oh, a wrap around 10. The banners that they hang here over the lanes that have your names that signify you as a champion. She'd love one.
Great shot. Definitely going a little more left to right than Liz, but using the same break point. Ring 10. Great shot by New Wei Fen.
Fantastic adjustment. This did not catch a break, but her spare shooting continues to be solid, which is as much a part of the deal as you have to have in these majors. However, Liz Johnson has been a little bit more. She hasn't had to shoot spares the last 3 frames. When you think about it, we talked during the break, her shot in the third on the right-hand lane was perfect. She just got a terrible break on the 7-pin. And she could be sitting on 5 in a row. That's through the face. That one got away a little bit, 3-6-10.
A little bit slower, missed left of target. She's been sitting a little bit. You know, we had the commercial break. New Wei Fen was up, so you just got to make sure coming out of that commercial that you're just as aggressive. That's sometimes a tough thing to do.
And this is an important spare. You cannot leave anything behind here. Liz chopped this earlier in the match against Callie Kulik. She's not going to do it this time. Kim, you've been noticing something that New Wei Fen has been doing, and I find it a little bit different.
Yes, if we watch her off to the side between shots, she's actually got herself a book of notes, and every time she comes back from her shots, she's writing furiously in the notebook, which is kind of like the methodical process behind all of Team Singapore. I've seen them all doing this all week, the entire team. So it's an interesting point, and I think she keeps those notes to learn from in the future.
That's Kim, thank you. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for the next time she gets up here. Liz with a pretty good shot and a 7-pin right here.
A lot of Team Singapore also charts every shot they throw.
No problem.
And keeps it as they're bowling.
Well, remember the Queens, Bernice Lim.
Yeah.
Was it a Rubik's Cube that she was playing with?
Rubik's Cube, yes, yes.
So Liz Johnson's clean through 8. And New Wei Fen is going to have to mount a comeback and running out of time. Spares won't cut it. That'll cut it.
Makes the adjustment on the right lane. A little more direct, and like I said, there was a little bit hold, especially from right, not so much in, but it was created more by ball speed, not the pattern, more by ball speed. A little more direct, like I said, using the same break point as Liz, just going a little bit more left to right. But the ball roll she has, being so much underneath it and then getting through it, allows her to play that part of the lane so well.
Max for New is 211. And she's on her way to doing that. 221, pardon me. And Liz's max is 236. But New seems to have figured something out, and she's not writing anything down this time. Maybe she has already crammed enough into her notepad for this game anyway. Win or lose, I'm sure she'll add to that journal. Oh, man, so tough. So tough.
Liz hasn't moved very much on the lane, just increased her ball speed and has a great reaction to the pocket. And as you're going to see, people will now follow suit. They're going to follow her lead.
On this left-hand lane, she has struck second, fourth, and sixth. And you see what she needs. Strike an 8 to move on to the next match against Dana Hong.
Great shot.
There's the strike. And now 8. When you think about it, she's actually going for 3 in a row. Since there was no Open in 2014, there was an All-Star event which Shannon Pluhowski won.
Correct.
But the trophy, we can see very clearly that beautiful trophy there. Could be hers again. 3 in a row. Needs 8. How about 10? Liz Johnson is moving on to the next match.
Oh, they called a foul on Liz.
Uh-oh.
And I believe it was the first shot in the 10th. She fouled.
Well, that
changes the match.
tremendously.
Let me I think they need to double check this. Whether it was the first or the second shot in the 10th frame in which Liz fouled.
Well,
The line judge called it.
All right, let's see. The line judge is out of camera range, by the way.
Oh, that's close. Gosh.
We're just slightly behind there. So I don't know.
I don't know if she touched it and then moved her foot right here. Oh my gosh, it's really hard to see. I'm looking.
Yeah, it is.
Let's
might be a better
Let's see if
angle.
we can see it from the front. That could have touched and then turned. I'm glad I'm not the one making that call. But they need to definitely, can they zoom in on it is really the key.
Well,
they're saying yes.
They're going
she
to call
has
it a foul?
They have called it a foul. She has to reshoot the first shot in the 10th.
All right.
I believe it's
The second.
I think. They're saying it's the second.
Yeah, that's the second shot. So let's see how she handles this.
Like a true champion.
Well, there you go. That's how you handle it. That's all you can do. Once that call is in the books. Now let's talk about the score.
Let me reiterate. It was the first shot. They are saying now it is a foul spare.
Gotcha.
She will now have a fill frame, which now changes the score. I apologize too for the back and forth. We really just wanted to clarify, and I think there was a little confusion whether it was the first or second shot. Here is the foul judge. His eyes are peeled on that foul line. It was the first shot in the 10th in which her foot went slightly over the line. She then spared it, which now changes
Well, this is a big
the match.
shot. Her
Correct.
She gets a strike. She can 260, and now
Okay,
something.
now
Yeah.
the cameraman moved right in the middle of her approach. And she did the right thing. She stepped off the approach, and she's going to regroup.
So she can max at 216. New Wave Fenn still is going to have to get some strikes in order to pull this match off. But now she has the opportunity. We went from about 2 minutes ago, her being defeated. So she has to make a mental adjustment as well as Liz has had to make it. Her fill point will be 9. So she gets 215. A great score in these conditions. She battled back and handled the call, I think, as well as she could possibly handle it.
New Wave Fenn will now need a double in the 10th to beat Liz.
She'll be on the right-hand lane, where she struck her last time, of course, you see in the 8th frame. So she has she made a big adjustment on that right-hand lane as well.
She wound up doing it both on, once she made the adjustment on the right lane, she decided to opt for that on the left lane also.
So you see what she needs to win. Looks good. Oh, dead channel 10. Unbelievable. And Liz Johnson will survive her own mistake. This is a great roll, Carolyn. What happened here?
Great shot. It's just a bad break. It's a flat 10. It wasn't as flush as the other one. Still a great shot. That is exactly what you're supposed to do on this condition, is hit the 1-3 and hope you carry. and she might have thrown it just a little bit harder. I mean, it could have been something so slight as that, is the ball speed, but it was a great shot off her hand.
Well, Liz Johnson defeats New Wei Fenn, defeats the line judge, and shows the poise of a champion. Next up, Shayna Ung, looking for her first major. She's going to have to beat Liz Johnson to get there. And there's the beautiful city of Chicago. What a wonderful place to visit any time of the year. It's our privilege to be in the Chicago suburbs. Liz Johnson moves on despite a foul in the 10th frame to defeat New Wei Fenn and get ready for her third match. She started as the number 4 seed. The USBC Bowling Academy provides hundreds of hours of high-quality instructional videos for bowlers of all skill levels. Learn from Team USA and USBC certified gold coaches as well as other top pros and instructors.
When you're bowling your league, you want to make sure that you can initiate a good, clean, and consistent start. One of the problems that we see a lot of times here in the training center is bowlers have been taught to walk straight up the lane or walk towards their target. But there's several disadvantages to that.
Right. We want to make sure that you're getting the ball into the swing in the right way. We want that swing plane to be consistent. And oftentimes when you're walking with one foot in front of the other, we start to see just a variance in the swing plane. We want more consistency there. And so one of the ways that we work on that here at the training center is we use this tape to kind of help players get a feel for where they want that crossover step to land.
So we'll use painter's tape because it's non-marking. It gives us a visual reference so that we can keep track of where our footwork is going. What you'll see a lot of times for some bowlers is they will step directly forward. They think they're walking straight, and they are walking straight, but our leg's in the way for the swing. What we want to see is a step in front of your slide foot. That is actually truly walking straight right into the box. It doesn't matter whether you're a 4-step or a 5-step. A 5-step, you would step and still step in front of our slide foot. This will improve your consistency and your overall swing repeatability. Here we have Teresa, and she's going to demonstrate what a lot of league bowlers do when they're told to walk towards their target or walk straight up the lane. On this shot, we're going to demonstrate what we would like to see Teresa do, is we want her to have a crossover step or step in front of her sliding foot, enable her to have room for her swing to increase her accuracy.
Well, you can't beat those two, Rod and Kim, for great coaching. Visit USBCBowlingAcademy.com today for more information. Coming up, our third match of the U.S. Women's Open, defending champion Liz Johnson against this Singaporean star, Shayna Ung, the number 2 seed. It's next.